The format itself was
This whole event exploited the fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new Slop Me On video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, because I certainly am. And in today's video, we're yet again talking about iDubbbz and Anisa, and Creator Clash has come straight back into the picture. We've got some very rage-inducing clips to get into, some amazing updates about Creator Clash, and some stuff from Even Klein himself in relation to Creator Clash, iDubbbz and Anisa. But without further ado, I want to dive straight into it. I want to start with Ren from Corridor Crew speaking out about Creator Clash and who he puts the blame on.
Honestly, like, I love Harley, respect him, but I kind of think him quitting Creator Clash was a little bit of a catalyst for the event actually falling apart.
I think that's an incredibly unfair thing to say. Harley had every right to leave, and it's not his fault that the event fell apart. Creator Clash 3 was doomed to fail from the beginning. iDubbbz and Anisa have pretty much said that already. And then on top of that, you had the content cop on H3 and all of the other practices going on. This event was doomed to fail. Harley leaving was not the catalyst for it actually falling apart.
Not more than iDubbbz, to be clear. I don't know. I still like Ian. It's just, the whole event turned into such a mess.
Look, I could sit here and say that I respect Ren's opinion that, you know, he does still like iDubbbz. He still does like Ian. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, because that would be what we call a lie. I don't know why you would like or have any respect for the person that has messed you about for several months and absolutely destroyed your opportunity to fight on a boxing card after you took time out of your own schedule to fight on it. Somebody who was incredibly not transparent with you, someone who lied to your face, and somebody who then just left the event and let it crumble.
It's like not Fire Festival levels of mess. Obviously, that's like the pinnacle of messiness. But I think the event wasn't selling well either. It was like, I think they had sold like 2,000 tickets to an arena that
hadn't really
housed
been promoted.
20.
The event was doomed to fail. According to them, that, you know, this event wasn't something that they thought would practically really do well. It wasn't something that was selling. On top of that, then you had the content cop and any controversy that was around Creator Clash 3 to begin with. Then you had the fighters that started leaving. But the fighters leaving wasn't like a big catalyst for its downfall, or like he's saying here and putting the blame on Harley for the event falling apart after he left. That's not up to Harley. Harley's a fighter on the event. He left because it was already going to shit by that point. It was too late by that point. You're gonna blame anyone or say anybody's the catalyst, it's all iDubbbz and Anisa's fault and their behavior, not some fighter who decided to leave. He wasn't the catalyst whatsoever.
I don't want to get into too many details about it, but basically with the event being canceled, they're not entitled to pay you all of it. And so it was suddenly like, oh, now not only is this event not happening, I am now losing thousands of dollars on this.
And I do sympathise with Ren here, because not only will this be a case for him, but it will be a case for many other fighters. Some fighters we know, like Dad and Harley, got paid up front because they thought this event was going to absolute shit and wanted to secure their money. Other fighters had absolutely no idea and weren't really clued in, so are missing out and losing out, unfortunately, like Ren.
Event. And that was not something I'd planned for. But we're talking it out, and we might be able to get this figured out. So that's no longer a problem. I hope it's not still a thing.
I mean, you would hope that Creator Clash, iDubbbz, Anisa, whoever is trying to sort this out and pay the fighters, will actually do it. That is the bare minimum they can do after messing around people and their careers, their jobs, or whatever they do for several months for something that hasn't even happened. The bare minimum they can do is give the money that they're really owed. And the whole financial side and money fighters are owed or have been paid is a big theme of this video and a big focal point as well. Nathan Barnett, or Dad, recently said in a comment, it's kind of weird hearing that old clip of Anisa saying the stuff about rich YouTubers and now being here where not rich YouTubers got nothing. One of the female fighters messaged me and said she hasn't been paid anything. I was surprised because I thought everyone got at least half since it's been cancelled. If this is the case and this is true and this is based on something and there is actual proof to back this up, that's insane that there's a fighter that hasn't been paid anything. Not even a half of it since it's been cancelled, just flat out nothing, and nothing seems to be happening. Financials around Creator Clash 3, Creator Clash just in general, are so incredibly messy, and it just seems like more information comes out every single day at this point, where we hear another horror story about the bad financials and fighters not getting paid, or only getting paid half, or getting paid less or more than other fighters is coming out daily at this point. Next things I wanted to quickly take a look at are a couple of clips that have come directly from H3 on the H3 podcast, which I think are incredibly interesting, so let's take a deep dive into them.
So to these people, they can dangle $20,000 in front of them as a carrot on a stick to hold them, to keep them in line. So that if you leave, or if something comes up, or whatever it is, it's like, sorry,
Yeah.
So it's like they talk about how they don't want to exploit their fighters. The format itself was exploited.
Event.
Not only were the fighters exploited, but at every single turn they've been shafted with the lack of transparency, with some fighters not getting paid, with some fighters getting paid more or less. At every single turn, the fighters were put like tertiary to everything else going on. It's disgusting how the fighters were treated, and that's why I do feel sympathetic. I do read a lot of the comments when it comes to these videos because I'm interested in the insight and what people think about Creator Clash, and what's going on with iDubbbz and Anisa, and lots of people are very harsh on the fighters, asking questions like, why would you go on the event when you've seen the failure of Creator Clash 2? Whilst I think that's a valid question, it doesn't excuse the behaviour and the lack of transparency in the fact of what iDubbbz and Anisa and Creator Clash have done to these people that were meant to be fighting on their event.
Exploited the fighters.
You don't make them fucking front their own money for training and then pay them back at the end. That's insane. And so people like this guy, now I don't know if this guy's rich or not.
They probably justified it by it being a charity event.
That's how they got
there's
everybody.
And yeah, that's the other aspect of the
And
whole
somehow they
problem.
still lost money.
I will never know why they chose to do Creator Clash 3 after hearing Anisa and iDubbbz say that, you know, they didn't think this would do very well in the first place, and basically straight off the bat, ticket sales weren't very good. I don't know why you just wouldn't wrap up the event to begin with. I don't know why you would even start the event to begin with after the failure which was Creator Clash 2. There were so many red flags and warnings, and they just kind of blew past them and continued with this event that was doomed to fail.
Yeah, I'm an angry bitch.
It's just it makes me actually so upset when I hear the fighters talk like Dad.
Oh,
and,
poor Dad.
Well,
That's a perfect
I've only
example.
listened to 1 second so far, but this is already making me so upset.
Like ask yourself, Dad is a good fighter. He has fans. People are interested, but why would they want Dad to fight in all three? Why they had a bunch of repeat fighters, and all of the fighters they had repeat for were not rich fighters.
And as well, when it comes to somebody like Dad, for example, somebody who has been so loyal to iDubbbz and Anisa and the event and the brand of Creator Clash, you'd think that they would, you know, reciprocate that a little bit. Give him some loyalty back. Give him some, you know, benefits. Actually communicate with not only him, but everybody else. But especially the people that have done it several years in a row. You'd think there'd be something more there, some more care, but there just isn't. There's a complete lack of it.
These were people who were depending on them to pay them back, to fund their money. People who were who would be swayed by being like, hey, you get a bonus at the end. We're going to give you a $20,000 bonus at the end.
Also,
these are people
like
they could control, that Anisa could control.
It's so fucked up that people have to spend their own money first, and the plan is that you would then get reimbursed in the end.
No, it's
that's just not
exploited.
okay.
Of course not.
And that's something we spoke about a lot on this channel, as we've made so many videos going over Creator Clash. That is something that's come up quite a bit. And one of my still big concerns and one of my big criticisms is, yeah, Anisa spoke out. She's made her tweets, but why has Ian said absolutely nothing? Ian has basically said fuck all, aside from some shitty stuff in his Discord server.
They were going to pay Lena back half, which was good, but we pushed back a little bit. We're like, dude, come on, And then they said, okay, we're going to pay you the whole amount. Good for them.
Which is great to hear. There should have been no pushback to begin with, though. They should have just offered the whole sum of money to begin with. The fact that you had to, like, haggle even just a little bit to get the full money and not just half of it is outrageous to me.
Okay.
They also said it seems like they're going to pay that last guy back the whole amount as well.
That's good.
So, so that's good. But again, so they're being forced to pony up.
Yeah.
And I can imagine they're probably losing and getting fucked big time.
I have absolutely zero sympathy for the people at Creator Clash or whoever it is that is losing out big time because they're having to pay back the fighters, rightfully so. In my humble opinion, I don't think it's even a fraction of the punishment that they should be receiving, but it's definitely a start, and I'm glad to hear that some fighters are starting to actually probably get paid, but it does still seem like a pretty big battle to actually try and get paid the full amount of your money. Also, quickly wanted to mention this Keemstar tweet I recently saw where he's trying to, you know, offer to buy the remaining bits of the Creator Clash IP, and honestly, if he can run it fine, that's all good, I've got no issue there, but I honestly just think you should leave the Creator Clash brand in the absolute dust. The reputation it has is dreadful, and for very good reason, and even if Keemstar goes in there and does it justice, I just don't think it's worth it. I honestly think you should just leave Creator Clash sitting in its own feces, rotting. But that's all the updates on Creator Clash, iDubbbz, and anisa, and all them lot that I have for you today. I'm glad to hear some more stuff about the financial side of Creator Clash, arguably the messiest stuff in the entire situation. But everybody watching, what's your thoughts on all of this? Please feel free to comment down below, because, you know, with these videos, I do often read the comments. And once you're done that, you must also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. But I've been your host, Samuel, and I will catch you in the next Slopic. Goodbye.